Hello knitters, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, this is so fucking... Ugh. Sorry about that. That made me cringe so hard that I nearly died. Anyway, if you're new here, I'm a knitter that is trying to get into YouTube because I don't know. I honestly don't know. Why not? You know, it'd be funny. I'm using a TV as a studio light. That is so council estate of me. But anyway, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I'm a knitter. I knit far too much. This isn't like a let's learn how to knit channel. It's more of like let's talk shit about knitting and chill, hang, whatever. And usually I don't know what I'm talking about. I will go off track and forget what I'm talking about. But I thought today we can talk about mental health. Juicy topic. Because I thought my handle on Instagram, TikTok and YouTube is sad knitting, and I reckon a lot of y'all are gonna be like, why is it called sad knitting? He's so happy. It's a farce, it's all a lie. I'm actually a manic depressive. Well, not manic depressive. Borderline personality disorder. That's what it is. So yeah, I thought it'd be funny to have a gander and have a talk. You can be my therapist because I'm too poor to actually afford one. And also, I don't want to go to therapy again. It's scary. Anyway, why is this not working? Honestly, I just want some backlighting, front light, whatever you call it. This is so unprofessional. Is that the one? Oh my god, something's playing.
No, this was not because of the tariffs. I wanted...
There we go. Yeah, I thought it'd be cool to just talk about knitting and mental health, considering it's literally my whole personality and I don't shut up about it. So, I mean, I don't really know how to... Okay, it could be story time. Grab your cup of tea. Grab your propanol, if you know, you know. And let's go for some story time. So, why did I start knitting? Well, I started crocheting during the pandemic, the great old pandemic of 2020, 1920, whenever. God, it makes me feel old. It's been like 5 years. Yeah, I started crocheting around that time. And I really liked crocheting. I really, really did like it. And I was really good at it. However, I realised, because I was crocheting cardigans, jumpers, things like that. And I realised after a year of crocheting that I was just trying to replicate knitting, because unpopular opinion, but some of the crochet stitches are they're not great. I'm just not a fan. So I was a half double crochet girly. That was my stitch, that was my bread and butter. But yeah, I realized that I was just trying to kind of replicate knitting. So then I was just like, why don't I just learn how to knit? And people used to ask me all the time, oh, why don't you learn how to knit? And I was like, I can't be arsed. So cut to 3 a.m. on a random Tuesday, I had the spontaneousness of just being let's learn how to knit. I had no knitting needles, so I used pencils, and the only yarn I had was acrylic cotton yarn, and it was not, I don't even know, it was the cheapest yarn you could buy, and I was like, let's do this, and that's kind of where the journey started. And I was like, I kind of like this. And you may be asking, well, what does that have to do with mental health? Well, the knitting at 3 a.m, that is trying to learn how to knit at 3 a.m. randomly. That's a bit mental illnessy or autistic, whichever you want. And also I was having a breakdown at the time. Like, I was like mentally ill. I just moved back home to live with my mum. I'd just gone through an awful breakup. So I was like, I had no job. So I was like on the bones of my arse. So I was like, so I needed something to kind of like stop me from like, you know, can't really say it on here, but like self-deleting, let's just say. So I needed kind of like a something to fixate on. So I was like, Ning, hello, let's do this. Because it was crocheting. Because I used to be like, crochet the pain away. Fun story, one time, because I used to post my crochet, because my Instagram was actually a crochet page to start with. And someone, when I was out on a night out once on my own, because I'm sad I have no friends, they actually was like, you do crocheting on Instagram, don't you? And back then I was like, no, even though I literally had crochet hooks in my back. But yeah, what the fuck was I trying to say? I can't remember. But yeah, I was quite mentally ill, so I was like, knitting, hello. And then I realized that like whenever I did knit, it was kind of like meditating for me. It was kind of like a way of like keeping the bad voices away, the bad thoughts, the bad feelings away. Please don't attack me. My cat's trying to eat my knitting. Stop! Thank you. Yeah. And that's kind of like where the kind of addiction started. The knitting, not like drugs or anything. I don't do drugs because I'm too far gone. I feel like if I did drugs, it'd be a nightmare. The only drugs I do is God and Jesus, everyone. Yes. So whenever I meet anyone or roommate,
I wanted to work
go
really hard to
away.
make sure things were
Shut up. Anyway. So yeah, whenever I kind of like do anything or go anywhere, I will knit. I'll bring my knitting, because whenever I get overwhelmed or like, because I'm slightly agoraphobic as well as like anxiety, social anxiety. So like I don't like leaving the house. Like it scares me. Every time I go out of that house, I'm like, someone is gonna stab me, or I'm gonna get mugged, or like the fear is there, and I don't know why. It just is. People unsettle me, especially people I don't know. Don't trust them. Like today, for example, I went for a walk and I was like, I really want to sit in the park, but I know for a fact if I sit in the park, someone's going to come up to me and try and talk to me, and I don't want that. So yeah. So whenever I go anywhere, I will always bring my knitting, because it means I can kind of let the world melt away and just focus on them stitches, because the stitches mean no stitches for me. I feel like I should workshop that. I feel that would be good on a t-shirt. So yeah. And you know, there's been studies and all this jazz about like how it does actually help mental health. So I'm a big supporter of that. I'm like, coined it. Sad knitting. So if you're mentally ill, I really do recommend taking up knitting, because it's a lot healthier than anything else that I've tried. Because I've tried a lot of shit. Like, this isn't my first rodeo. I've been mentally ill for like 15, 20 years now. Like, so I've tried a lot of things in my day. Meditation, which I do actually like meditating, but I just never have time. I say that I have too much time, but sometimes I'm like, I don't want to sit with my thoughts for a bit, you know? So yeah, I've tried meditating, eating healthily, gymming, cannabis, illicit substances, drinking, all the bad ones, all the good ones. But knitting is like the only thing that's kind of stuck, and it's the one thing that like I used to think it was art. Like growing up, I was like, massively into art. That was my whole personality. I was like, I'm gonna do art, I'm gonna be an artist, all this jazz. And then I went to university in Leeds, and I hated every single second of it because I was so antisocial and mentally ill. And universities are so, like, I always say universities are for like the most confident and like well-adjusted people, because trying to navigate university whilst you're mentally ill is like, it's so draining, because they're all like, let's collaborate, let's go into breakout rooms, come up and do a presentation, and you're like, I will throw myself out that window right now if I have to do that. But yeah, art was like my thing. And then when I left uni, I was like unable to do artwork, like paint, because I was so like mentally ill, and like I felt like such a failure because all I wanted to do was go to university to do art. And then when I kind of not failed, because I actually got an alright grade, but like I didn't get what I wanted out of it. Like I didn't get the kind of validation that I wanted, that I was looking for. So whenever I did artwork after that, I kind of was like, I'm a failure, it's all crap, it's all shit. So I was like looking for something to kind of fill that void that I'd like had in my life, like ever since I was like 5. Like doing art and painting was like the only thing that I'd like used to kind of keep me on a level. And then when I didn't have that anymore, I was like, I'm gonna spiral, and spiral I did. So I'm really glad that I discovered knitting, because I don't know what I would be without knitting. Because I know for a fact now that like knitting is such a... I wasn't crying then, by the way. I had to frog in my throat. Yeah, like, because knitting is such a big part of my life now. Like, I knit every single day without fail. I knit from as soon as I wake up in the morning. I'll have a little coffee and I'm like, boom, straight on it. Oh shit. And I'll knit for like however long. Like, basically every second of the day that I have that I'm not eating or sleeping, I'm knitting, because that's like how not just dedicated I am, but like how addicted, maybe, I don't know, like it just makes me feel better. So I really want to do this for a living. I wish someone could just pay me to just knit. Like, that is what I want to do. I don't want to do anything else with my life. I just want to knit. That's all I want to do. So that's one reason why I'm doing YouTube, because I'm like, you never know, if I become like a semi-successful YouTuber, I can just knit and talk shit to people and get paid for it. So you never know. Ifs and buts and wants. Girl boss gatekeep. I can't remember. Gaslight, girl boss gatekeep, something like that. But yeah, and I'm like, I'd be so much mentally saner if I could just like not have to like work for anyone and just like knit full time, which is quite a unrealistic expectation, let me tell you. No one is gonna make me. The only way I could actually like make a living off knitting is if I design patterns and release patterns, become a very, very successful TikToker or Instagram, or I work for a knitting company. And let me tell you, I've been Instagramming knitting companies and yarn companies and been like, can I work for you, please? I'll do your social media, I don't care, I want to be in this world, I want to stay in this world, I don't want to I just want to do what makes me happy now. Like, I'm at this point in my life where if something makes me genuinely unhappy, I don't want to do it anymore. Like, which is why I don't leave the house, because I just nick. This is like my safe space. If I was in therapy, they'd be like, this is your safe space. Even though they'll probably try and push me out of the house, and I'd be like, no. God, I feel like such a narcissist. I've just been talking about myself for 15 minutes. God. But yeah, I'm not a psychologist, so I don't know why I was like, let's talk about mental health. I'm just going to talk about myself. My mental health journey. This is what it's going to be called. My mental health journey. And knitting. Got to throw them keywords in there. I was actually looking at doing sewing, but I did sewing when I was in high school, and I did really like it, but I don't want to spend any money on the materials, because I think that's why I kind of gravitated towards knitting, because to start knitting, it was kind of very economical for me. I just needed a ball of yarn and something like knitting needles. That's why I used pencils, because I had no money over skin. What are you playing with? Having 2 kittens is sometimes a nightmare. They're into everything, let me tell you. I don't even know what they're playing with, but it's something they shouldn't be playing with, let's just say that. I can't remember what I was saying now. So this is what I mean, I've got a mind like a goldfish. If you're mentally ill as well, go see a doctor. Go talk to someone. Where have they got this from? What even is this? Is this from the... It's from the curtain rail. I don't know where the hell... Kittens, they'll get into everything. But yeah, go to a doctor. And if they don't listen to you, peck their head. Honestly, you just gotta keep ringing. That's what I did. When I went to see a doctor, I was like ringing every day. I was literally like, I need to see someone. I need to speak to someone. If you don't, I will literally kill myself. You've got to be dramatic sometimes. You've got to get your foot in the door, and you've got to be like, listen to me. Because it took me about 3 years to get a diagnosis, to actually like have someone to like talk to and be like, I want to know what's wrong with me. And even now, they're like, they still drag their feet. Like, I went to see a psychiatrist like a few weeks back, and she was like, I'll ring you this afternoon to like confirm your new like prescription or whatever. Did she? No, she didn't. Still haven't heard from her. She ran off. So I either scared her, or the NHS is broken, so fair, but you know what I mean, like, you just gotta peck the reds, basically. Where the hell have you got these? How have you got both of them? They're higher than me. Anyway, yeah, you just gotta like fight for your sanity, and even then, oh my god, Matthew, stop trying to tell people to like go to the doctors. I hate the doctors. If I have to go speak to someone about mental health, it is the worst thing in the world, because I don't know anyone's experience here. Some people have good experiences, some people have bad experiences, but from my experiences, it's mostly been awful, because they don't listen to you, they gaslight you, and when you actually do have a problem, like a medical problem, they will gaslight you into thinking it's your anxiety. So, a bit annoying, but you know, it is what it is. You just gotta find what makes you not want to, what makes you least want to, makes you unlike yourself, and then you've got to stick with it. Unless it's like something that's really unhealthy, like cab sex or drugs, then maybe not. But I ain't a judge, so do what you want that makes you happy. Life's hard enough. What are you doing? It's one of the kittens. And I've taken their, because usually they have collars on to tell them apart, because they're twins. And now that they don't have collars on, it's very difficult to tell them apart. One's boy, one's a girl. So I have to like proper stare at them. That's the boy, and you can't see them, but I'll include a photo. But yeah, this has been my mental health journey. I know nobody asked, but I know you're all nosy bastards, so I see you looking at my arms, you're like, oh, I wonder what you did there. It was actually, I fell into a bush, fell over, actually. I do sometimes like to tell that to people when they look at me. I fell over, okay? God. So yeah, if someone does come up to you and say, why do you knit? Make them feel uncomfortable and just say the most unhinged thing ever. Just mix it up a little bit, I don't know. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'm applying for jobs at the moment, so I'm like, should I post this? What if they find it? I don't know. What do you think, Madge? Say hello/goodbye. She loaf. So yeah, that was a rundown on mental health and knitting and what it can do for you. Oh my god, I should do a TikTok where I'm like promoting knitting. I don't know. Bank that one for later. Might be something in that. I don't know what else to say, because I don't want to be all preachy, and because I don't listen to myself. Sometimes I should, but sometimes I don't. So at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you know what I mean? Just keep knitting. That's the message of this video. Keep knitting. If you think, oh my god, I shouldn't buy that yarn, just buy the yarn. Just buy the yarn. You know what I mean? Like, you could be buying drugs, okay? You could be buying God knows what. Just buy the yarn. If it gives you that little bit of serotonin that makes you not want to like jump off a bridge, buy the yarn. I did today, so you deserve it. You deserve it. Goodbye. Make sure you like and subscribe because, I don't know, making me feel happy. Goodbye.